Okay. Welcome to new board members, as well as to those of you who are continuing to serve. I am your mayor, Rhonda Pownell.
And I'm City Administrator Ben Marte.
In this short presentation here today, we hope to cover some information that will be valuable to you over the coming year. At the end, we'll be having some additional information for your particular board or commission provided by staff, as well as having some facilitated discussion by your chair. It is really an honor to serve with the City Council who are so dedicated to serving Northfield. Each one of them brings unique perspectives and insights to leading our community. We together are stronger by our commitment to improving our community collaboration, where analysis, debate, and disagreement improve the value of the ideas, bring attention to risks, and lead to enhanced trust among the participants. On behalf of the City Council, I want to let you know how valued you are to our organization. Together, we are stronger by our commitment to understanding our legal structures and duties along with our roles. There are approximately 200 volunteers serving on our advisory boards and commissions, as well as special committees. Each of you is so important to our success as a community. In 2017, our City Council embarked on a collaborative community effort to implement a strategic plan. That process included updating our city shared vision on who we are and how we got here, and what our aspirations are as we look to the future. Our vision is that Northfield is an open, safe, and welcoming community, recognized for its world-class colleges and historic riverfront downtown, and is dedicated to sustainably enhancing and preserving its vibrant culture, celebrated arts, strong economy, and excellent quality of life where all can thrive.
A mission statement declares an organization's purpose or why it exists. That often includes a general description of the organization, its function, and its objectives. The mission statement is intended to inform our vision and put it to action. Our mission reads, "The City of Northfield works for the common good of our residents and businesses and the improvement of our community by providing excellent, innovative municipal services that carry out the city's vision for a high quality of life for all." So let's get started. Like everyone, appearing smart in meetings is a top priority. The smarter you appear, the more meetings you'll be invited to, the more opportunities you'll have to appear smart, and the sooner you'll be spinning in a chair while staring at the ceiling and whistling like the CEO of a big company. Just kidding, of course. However, I do recommend this book from our local library or local independent bookstore for a little comic relief. There are some important state laws to be cognizant of that we do have to take serious. One of those is the Minnesota Open Meeting Law. All board and commission member meetings are public meetings. One area of emphasis is that emails can be considered a public meeting related to official business. Business of the meeting should be done at the meeting, and that applies to emails as well. We encourage the use of blind copy function to try to limit the possibility of serial meetings by eliminating the reply all function. Please work with city staff liaisons if you have questions on the open meeting law. Board and commissions are also subject to the Minnesota Data Practices Act. The Act explains what information is public information. In Minnesota, most of the information you deal with as an advisory board and commission members will be considered public. Consult the city staff liaisons if you have any questions or concerns.
So included in your board materials this month is the Northfield City Council adopted rules of business. The Appendix A, Rules of Order, and Appendix B, Rules of Decorum, are ones to pay particular attention to as they are very applicable to boards and commissions. The Appendix A, Rules of Order, has some modified rules of Robert's Rules of Order. The Rules of Order are like the general instructions on how to formally take action at our meetings. So, for example, one of the basic ones are motions by board members to take formal action. We have other rules that go into other procedural details for our meetings. The Appendix B, Rules of Decorum, are established to ensure a civic and orderly boardroom. Most of them are generally common sense, like turning off your cell phone and not using dismissive body language. However, please take the time to read through them in their entirety. Civility has been a top priority for me as mayor, and I encourage you to lead by example. As outlined in the Rules of Decorum, the responsibility of enforcing decorum primarily resides with the chair, but all board members are important to building a positive board environment. Okay. Stephen Covey was a hugely successful author on leadership. A few takeaways I'd like to share that relate to positive board behavior from this book as provided at our 2017 Board and Commission training event. One example is to think in terms of win-win by looking for mutual benefit. Second, first seek to understand others and the information before taking action to be understood. And third, work to incorporate solutions that take into consideration all points of view. Studies show we are stronger together in finding solutions than alone. Included in your materials are the applicable ordinances and bylaws that apply to your board and commission. Please be familiar with these and take the time to briefly go over these at your meeting so everyone is familiar with your particular roles and responsibilities.
So a little break for another opportunity to learn tricks on how to learn to appear smarter at meetings. Get familiar with one another to know how this may apply to your future board agenda items. In all seriousness, there are some tips for success Mayor Ponnell will be going over next.
So it's important that everyone understands each other's roles and what is expected. As noted earlier, we should be supportive of differing viewpoints and having an inclusive and respectful boardroom. Some key points for board chairs to think about. First, let's think of those green light items that you should be promoting. Follow the agenda that is presented and approved at the meeting and be intentional about meeting the start and expected end times. Find ways to engage other board members, including those who may not normally speak up. Be cognizant of taking turns and encourage a positive tone. Now for the yellow light. Some things to be cautious of include assigning board administrative research. Staff is a great resource, so first make sure that they are supportive and work as a team to assign this type of work with clear expectations to come back to the full board. Be intentional about adding additional agenda items as our staff have limited resources. Consider looking at a work plan over a course of several meetings. And lastly, be intentional and thoughtful on boardroom items that may be presented outside of your meetings. Now for the red light. When you have a red light, take pause for determining appropriate direction. For example, staff is a resource provided by administration, so be respectful of consulting them on delivering action. A cooperative model really works best to work through priorities and deadlines together. Our staff have many responsibilities outside of the boardroom, so talk to them about their availability. Also avoid assigning board member administrative duties. Again, there may be appropriate times to do so, but there should be discussion with fellow board members and staff to clarify when or if it is appropriate for the board to work on administrative duties. Board members should come prepared to meetings. You are encouraged to participate through discussions. Be respectful of staff and work cooperatively to understand relevant guiding documents or studies that might apply to your board. Ask questions on council-adopted strategic initiatives. For the yellow caution, similar to the chair rule, be careful and have good discussions if you are taking on administrative research. If you find information that is relevant and will inform a policy issue the board is working on, I would encourage you to bring the insights forward to share with staff and the full board. When proposing other items for future agendas, first check in with the board chair or staff for feedback on appropriateness and also timing. We have approximately 7 city staff members that service the boards and commissions for the city, which, as noted earlier, includes about 200 amazing volunteers. As you know, the City Council strategic priorities are also implemented by these staff, which really requires planful workload management. For the red light stop items, be respectful of the chair to really run the agenda. Alternatively, find ways to provide a supportive role at the meeting and allow the chair to speak for the board outside the meetings unless agreed upon by everyone. The city is in its second year of its 3-year strategic plan. The following are our strategic priority areas, and you can see them there on your screen. economic development, a community that's economically thriving, affordable housing, a community where everyone can afford to live, infrastructure, a community where infrastructure supports its objectives, diversity, equity, and inclusion, a community that welcomes everyone, operational effectiveness, a community with a government that works, climate change impacts, a community that's resilient and sustainable. We are in the process of hiring a temporary 2-year full-time project manager to assist on implementation of the strategic plan. I encourage you to have a discussion with your staff and board about how your advisory board or commission may be responsible for assisting us in completing our strategic initiatives. Additionally, I encourage you to come to the State of the City address in March, where we will be highlighting the strategic plan and related initiatives, including metrics and schedules for completion of key items.
Tom Condon with the Elam Group was our trainer at the 2018 Board and Commission training event. I like this diagram he provided that gives a flight analogy to board and staff interactions. The higher the airplane, the greater the board responsibility. So you can see the 50,000 square foot level is setting a vision and purpose. The City Council is primarily responsible in affirming those values with support of staff. As you continue down and get closer to the runway, staff takes over more functionality of the day-to-day responsibilities and implementation. I encourage you to use this illustration to have discussions with staff and other board members about roles and responsibilities as we work to implement the Council strategic plan and other specific priorities your board or commission may be working on. The City of Northfield webpage is a great resource for information. Board and commissions have their own pages under the Government mega menu. Hover your cursor over Government on the top left-hand side of the home page on the City of Northfield website. A mega menu will drop down with information related to the City Council, boards and commissions, City Code, City Charter, City Fees, Comprehensive Plan, and City Strategic Plan. You can also find video, minutes, and agenda packets by clicking on the Agenda Minutes button located on the home page. I do want to highlight one particular recent comprehensive presentation by Urban 3 around the economics of development and planning in Northfield. It was a fascinating presentation with many facts and figures as presented by the engaging Joseph Minkazi, who speaks nationally on smart development. All board and commission members are strongly encouraged to attend these important events. Please get these key dates for the State of the City address, board and commission recognition event, and board and commission training event set for your 2019 calendar. The State of the City is just around the corner, so please make this a priority and encourage others to attend. This will be our second year in the Crackham Performance Hall, Carleton's 400-seat, state-of-the-art performance venue that is featured in January 2019's Minnesota Architecture magazine.
2018 was the first year of our City of Northfield Board and Commission Member of Excellence Award, which provides recognition to an individual city board member or commissioner for accomplishments of outstanding worth in advancing and improving public service in the City of Northfield. We need great volunteers on our city boards and commissions, and this is an opportunity to recognize just one of the many we have. We need more, and if you are interested, please consider when we have openings to or encourage others. Selection criteria is based on exceptional contributions to the City of Northfield, fellow employees, and the community in the following areas. Performs their duties exceptionally well and takes initiative to go beyond expectations of their role. Improves or enhances service and quality of work in ways that make a substantial difference for their respective commission or board. Exemplifies professionalism, teamwork, and dedication. Advocates for creative solutions to policy problems that exemplify the vision and mission of the City of Northfield and other related guiding documents. Demonstrates a high ethical standard, including a commitment to the rules of decorum and rules of order as adopted by the Northfield City Council. Nominations are submitted by peers on the boards and commissions. Application materials are provided to you, and I highly encourage you to consider a nomination to a current or 2018 board or commission member. Bonnie Jean Flom was nominated and awarded the city's first Excellence Award for her work on our boards and commissions. Selection of the 2019 winner will be announced at the State of the City address on March 18th. It is really critical to understand the roles on our boards and commissions of the city, and particularly the one you are serving on. Understanding the roles we play are important so that the rules of the game are understood. We covered some of the guiding documents earlier and also gave you a summary of our strategic plan. We are all on the same team, so possess honesty, sensitivity to and tolerance of differing views, a friendly, responsive, and patient approach. I encourage you to demonstrate good faith in relationships, which means you are giving the person the benefit of the doubt and working cooperatively amongst one another. Lastly, have fun and encourage humor. We deal with serious challenges in our community, but we need to also balance our seriousness with some fun, which helps us recharge. Thank you for taking the time to review this material with us today. We have some questions posed for you with your chair and staff, so have a great discussion, and thank you again for serving.